Until the COVID-19 vaccine is available, I will not allow the traditional face-to-face teaching.
May ilang estudyanteng piniling tumigil muna sa pag-aaral.
Walang makakapalit doon sa face-to-face.
It's another day. Another day to wake up, go to the sink, wash my face, and then go in front of my laptop to accomplish the tasks and activities that I need to do. And that's how my everyday morning routine goes. I'm sure most students have experienced losing internet connection and having a bad signal. And such incidents are really annoying. But what can we do, right?
Good morning, class. I'm going to record now the attendance. Just say present if you are here, okay? Mr. Alemania, Mark Andrew. Present. Okay, present. How about Cyrus Matthew Antonio?
Ma'am, I'm present po.
Aquino, Patrick Aquino, are you here?
Yes po ma'am, present po.
Okay, how about Azon, Marielle? Is Miss Azon here? No? Absent? Okay.
Ma'am, excuse me po. Miss Azon is here now po.
Ma'am, present po. I'm sorry po. I have an upload naman po, but the internet connection's a bit glitchy po sometimes. Sorry po.
It's okay. Anyway, as I was saying, as part of our introduction, I'm going to ask you about your experience so far with this type of education, this online class. In sync with this pandemic, how are the changes? How did you cope up with the situation, or what are the challenges you encountered? And lastly, what are your aspirations and motivations that keep you focused on your studies? Any volunteer? No? Okay, let's start with Cyrus Matthew Antonio.
Hello po, ma'am. If I remember correctly,
it all started when we were on 11th grade. The impact of the pandemic was suddenly felt when we had to stop going to school just when the school year was about to end. I somehow managed to survive every day despite the academic challenges because I was with my friends and we used to have lots of fun before at school all together. I remember having to copy from the answer key on one of our chemistry modules because I really can't understand the lesson. It was just too hard for me to learn this in an online mode of learning. Adjusting to the new normal was never an easy thing to me, or to anyone maybe. I had to deal with the pressure of accomplishing loads of schoolworks at home, which is not exactly a conducive place for learning and concentration. I didn't take online learning seriously because I thought it would end in no time. I lost my competitiveness and my urge to learn. And going to college just made things worse for me. I was in denial, for I couldn't accept the fact that I would have to spend my college life locked in our own house. I become more and more lazier as time goes by. I cram all assignments, then get stressed out as deadlines approach. I've had countless sleepless nights without having anything done. I even planned to stop and give up because everything was just too much for me. I spent hours on Netflix ignoring my schoolworks. I even played mobile games during classes.
Nothing motivates me to accomplish a single thing. I didn't have a good learning environment.
This pandemic definitely affected me negatively.
Those are the effects of the pandemic to me. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Cyrus. Okay, next is Patrick Harold Aquino.
Good afternoon po, sir. To answer your question po, being a student in the times of pandemic is not easy po. There were so many unexpected things that really bothered the students like me. I remember when I was in grade 12, how I crawled into online class. It's very difficult. I don't know how to start. I don't know what to do. What just happened then was self-study. Sleepless nights and tired to think of what to do because of the new normal education. We didn't try to have online classes or synchronous sessions the whole school year. Our school just implemented modular or corresponding to all students that time, and it had a huge impact on me as a student. I got to the point where I couldn't sleep for 4 days in a row until my body couldn't take it anymore. And I was rushed to the hospital, and the doctor said I had an anxiety and took me antidepressant medication for a month. I was so scared at that time. I don't want to get to the point where I will become crazy. So since then, I haven't focused on my academics until I went to college. The trauma is still here, so that what happened might come back. So I decided to choose the one that I think will make me happy without any stress. I learned to go bar and drink alcoholic drinks. I experienced late to go home and late to pass activities. I don't care about my grades that time. I don't care about people might say to me. I don't care about everything. All I know is that I'm just happy until I realized it was wrong. It's not me anymore. And those were also the times when I meet someone who changed my perspective. While we were wandering around with my friends, there was someone who invited us to church and then changed everything. The old bar with a lot of disco lights and alcoholic drinks, replaced by disco lights, but the music is worship song. Who used to drink are now spreading the gospels of the Lord. And for me po, no matter what struggles, problems that we encountered in our life, in our family, friends, or in our schools, as long as we put first God in our life, we will never be defeated.
That was very touching, Patrick Harold. Okay, next is Mark Andrew Alemania.
Good morning, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Andrew Alemania. This pandemic really makes education difficult. I know, not just for me, but for everyone. Things are uncertain now with distance learning. Sometimes we can't really know when we will lose the internet. Sometimes during synchronous classes, during the supposed time of learning, I get disconnected. And when I get back, it's hard to follow the discussion. Also, our home is not really the best environment to take classes. Sometimes our neighbors are having karaoke that their music is so loud I can't hear a thing on our meeting. And when we're having a PE class, I can't really perform well due to lack of space in our house. Sometimes I bump into a table while having dynamic exercise or workout. Being at home, I can't really focus on my study because I get distracted by video games and movie streaming. I guess my motivation is the thought that everything will soon be fine, that soon these challenges and suffering will end, and I just need to move along, go with the flow, study hard, and stay healthy.
Thank you, Mr. Alemania. Okay, next is, and the last is, Marielle Azon.
This pandemic and its resulting economic recession have brought us difficulties in different aspects of our lives. There is no doubt that the pandemic caused hardships for everyone to the extent that we need to change our lifestyle in school, work, and how we interact with others. Personally, I thought that despite the adverse effects of pandemic, online classes became a silver lining during this time because my family got into financial trouble during pandemic, especially when my father lost his job, and at that time I was an incoming first year college, and luckily I passed all the scholarships I applied for, which urged me to continue my study in college. During my first semester in college, at first I was scared because I did not know anyone in our class, and I was afraid about the subjects because we're in an online mode of study. But after a few days, I think that my classmates and I have adapted to the college atmosphere. College atmosphere it's like what is the average number of workloads for a college student, etc. However, the challenges were still there, and they weren't easy, to the point that I needed to push myself to my limits to accomplish all the tasks at home, like home chores and taking care of my siblings, and tasks at school, doing activities and taking exams, etc. I learned how to manage my time, balance my responsibilities in studies and family, controlling myself in terms like, even if I'm sad or there's something happened to me, I will set it aside no matter what, and will continue to finish that specific activity or task that I need to comply, like something like that. But things were not always like that, because I'm not perfect, and there's nothing perfect in this world, and there's a lot of situations or circumstances that affects me. For example, in online class, loss of internet connection really upsets me, that I can clearly understand the whole lesson because of that. And I'm sure that this system that we are into has exhausted me mentally and physically. I've stressed out many times, cried because of school-related things, and had breakdowns a lot of times. But college is not always that sad and stressful. It is always stressful, but I am still enjoying it at the same time, together with my friends and classmates, and with the help of my loved ones. And because of them, I have people I can rely on and can vent on, that can relate to what I am experiencing, and willing to listen even though we're not physically communicating. At least we can understand and listen to each other's matters. Also, I discovered new hobbies that I can do whenever I feel unwell or unhappy, such as watching K-dramas, anime, playing online games. And I hope that all of us, my classmates, will survive and will continue to strive for our dreams. Yun lang po. Thank you po, ma'am.
Well, thank you. Well, that's it. Thank you, class. But before we end this meeting, just a quick message. This pandemic brought difficulties in our lives, and despite those difficulties, it is still visible that we are urged to learn and we are excited to achieve our promising dreams. The fact that you're here today means that you're fighting. So thank you, class. It's nice to know your sentiments, thoughts, and aspirations. See you next meeting. Class dismissed.
Thank you
Thank you
po,
po.
ma'am.
Thank you po.